Well, well, well. The DLC trailer for Cage 3 has come out, and I got some mixed feelings from watching the trailers. I mean, you guys know how much I crapped on the base game. If you haven't seen my review on the base game Cage 3, go check that video out now. It'll give you some good context on why I was so disappointed with Cage 3 compared to the series as a whole. I mean, the ending had plot elements that were included from a mobile game that nobody played, so that didn't really bode well for any epilogue DLC I knew Square was planning to make at some point. Now, for the trailer itself, I do have some positive things to say here, but there's a lot that I'm skeptical about. With how disappointed I was in the base game, I'm not letting them get my hopes up here. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, Yahtzee yikes. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. I am interested to see what happens to Sora as he disappeared at the end of Cage 3 from overusing the power of waking. A lot of the cutscenes shown in the trailer appear to be taking place in the Keyblade Graveyard, so I wonder if that's where we'll be spending the majority of our time in the DLC. I don't really know, but from the secret trailer, we know Sora wakes up in Shibuya, and we also know that Riku goes after Sora and ends up in the world of Yozora. That rhymed. Anyway, so that can't be all there is to the DLC. They will probably include some worlds outside of the Keyblade Graveyard. Well, I would hope so, at least, because, I mean, it would be boring if I was just playing in the Keyblade Graveyard over and over again, because that was the end of Cage 3 anyway. But I digress. With the DLC, it seems that the roles have been reversed now, and that everyone Sora saved in Cage 3 will now be fighting to save him in ReMIND. Terra, whose body is possessed by Xehanort, will face off against the Lingering Will. Aqua will be going back into the darkness once again, maybe in an effort to save Sora, potentially. I like how everyone has their own trials and tribulations to face in this DLC. It makes it really interesting. Also, thank God they put the Final Fantasy characters back in the game. At least they listened to that. Yuffie, Aerith, oh, how I missed you. Where's my boy Cloud, though? Where is he? Sephiroth and Cloud still need to settle their beef from Cage 2. ReMind Square about that, damn it. So at least they listened to feedback from the fans there. Some of the other footage in the trailer also makes it seem like Ventus, Roxas, and Xion will be playable, but I guess I'm the only one out here super skeptical about that. That looked like a reaction command to me, boys. I don't know about the rest of you in the comments. Kairi is definitely playable though, so I guess that's cool. Hopefully it's not just for a simple boss fight or two, like it was with Riku in Cage 3. Cause I was like, oh man, I get to play as Riku. Look at all these cool, sick spells. Oh, back to Sora and Fire instead of Firaga. We'll have to see, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was only playable in a very specific scenario. They also showed something very similar to Cage 2 FM's data fights, and they look challenging, so big ups to Square there. I can already see myself dying over and over on critical mode, which ironically can be the most fun I have with a Kingdom Hearts game at times. You got Xemnas with 2 lightsabers, Darth Mauling it out here. You got Larxene with her lightning fast moves. You even got Xehanort's Heartless, the final boss from the original Kingdom Hearts game, out here as a playable boss fight. So that part looks really promising. Later in the trailer, we see Sora free roaming around Scala at Caelum, however you want to say it. Glad Square made that somewhat explorable. Seemed like a waste of a final area to me in the base game for that whole city to have just been a boss fight. Hopefully they add things to actively do there though, instead of just ride around on flow motion rails and fight Heartless after Heartless until moving on to the next world. I get that Scala at Caelum is supposed to be empty and all that, it's supposed to be an empty town, but I don't know, make it more interesting somehow. And that's all I got for you guys. Overall, I'm positive about how this DLC could turn out, but skeptically optimistic is definitely where I'd categorize myself. I can see that they've learned from some of the mistakes they made from the base game, but I can also see how Square could repeat some mistakes, like making Kairi playable for 5 minutes, if Square's not careful. But honestly, the inclusion of the Final Fantasy characters, which was a big negative for many Kingdom Hearts fans, is a good sign. So I'm excited to see how the DLC will turn out and what all changes Square will make to make this a better experience than the base game, that is Kingdom Hearts 3. Will you guys be picking up the Kingdom Hearts DLC or not? Has the base game made you skeptical like me, or are you hyped up out of your mind? Let me know down in the comments below what you think, and as always, subscribe for more content, or Kingdom Hearts is gonna be a Kingdom Fart. I'm sorry guys.